So I'll be honest with you, when I selected my executors, I thought about people who knew me, who would fight for me.
Yes.
Yes, even in death. You know, they would make sure that everything was administered as it should be and really have a true interest in me. Is that the right way to
That's
select?
one of the most important things you can tell. But let's talk about their age groups.
Okay, carry on.
Well, I know that you're beautiful and you're 21.
Oh, stop it. Yes. Yes, indeed.
But let's look at a scenario. What if someone is 70 years of age and decides for the first time, I'm going to make a will, but I want my girlfriends to be the executors, to execute my final wishes.
All right.
But they're also in their 70s.
We have a problem.
We may have a challenge. You need, because energy is required.
Okay.
Energy is required. And so I'm not suggesting that they cannot do it, but then surely we need to look at things in a broad spectrum. Dementia is stepping in. It's a global epidemic.
Right.
We have many dementia patients on this island. And those age groups are getting younger and younger and younger. If you select persons who are the very same age as you, that might be a challenge.
So at a certain age, I need to go back and
You need to be revisiting your will, because remember, even though it may be captured in the rest and the residuary, if you have purchased new items, all those homes and cars,
into being, yes.
amen, but then you may have just had a cousin in there. What happens when they benefit from all those things?
Right.
Not that it's a problem, but you need to be revisiting. What if you've also lost one of those friends?
Right.
Okay.
So
What
you
if
need to
you've had a
update.
falling out? You may need to revisit.
All right. So.
And not just revisiting this, it's not just the will. Where are your accounts? Where are your legal title? Where are all those documents? You do need to be able to tell persons where they are, because if you don't, how are they going to know where to find everything?
Good point, and I felt very proud of myself that I had appendices. Yes, I felt, you know, as if I was, I felt as if I had this, you know, under control, and I actually put things like, as you said, where bank accounts were located, even things like passwords for certain things that they might need to access to help in
the process.
Correct. So it's good to hear that, because people think it's only about, I need this gold ring to such and such, but it goes way further than
It's
that.
a little bit more than that. And don't forget, you probably said it, you took it to the registry of wills and you deposited it. You got a receipt, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. That's your original will receipt. You need to keep that.
Yes. And what I learned too, the suggestion that to send that receipt to the executors as well. Because if you drop down there in Broad Street and they urgently need to try to claim this, the receipt isn't just in your filing cabinet.
No, it's not.
Right.
And a suggestion might be, if you made a copy of the will, and I know a lot of people, again, don't always do this, or sometimes they don't.
Right.
But if you've made a copy, then you can perhaps staple it on. Let's talk about where we are leaving that will, though.
Let's.
Why is it important?
In case the place burns down,
Not
and you
in,
die in a fire, and something gruesome like
See,
that.
we want to talk about some stuff. I mean, yes, it happens. But I've also had scenarios where people have left their wills in places where people have found them and discovered that they were not in the will.
The plot thickens.
This is serious. Well, what if they're adults and they assume that they were going to be inheriting the house, only to discover that you've actually left it to another sibling? These are real scenarios.
Right, it's true. So what are your recommendations, like a safe deposit box?
You can do that. I may not recommend a safe deposit box, because if you die and you're the only one with access to the safe deposit box with the key,
Good point.
that's the challenge.
Good
So
point.
perhaps you can do it in a safe, or if you are very close with your executor, you can give it to them. You have to consider these things.
There's a lot to think about.
It really
This
is a
alone
lot.
is gonna kill me.
No, it won't kill you, but it's important to know where your documents are and when you should really show those documents. This is very serious. Restoration of title deeds is very expensive
And could be lengthy.
and could be lengthy.
Mhm.
And what is unfortunate is when people say, I don't remember where my deeds are.
Right.
This is real.
Yeah. I experience that a lot too in real estate. So that's why I always ask to see a copy of your deeds at the start of the transaction before even listing the property. And then a lot of times they realize they have a copy, or they thought the bank had the deeds, and then the bank casually tells them, sorry, we can't find them.
There you go.
So
It's really serious.
Mhm.
So then you think, so let's fast forward this. You've probated, you're ready to ascend and give this person your property, but there are no deeds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you have all of this in mind. As you can see, there's a lot of detail, and that's why attempting it ourselves might not always be the best option, but good
It's
to
the
know.
start.
Yes.
Please bear this in mind, and I know you'd have done this and you did your research.
Mhm.
Please, I beg you, if you are going to select someone in your will as a beneficiary, let's say her name is Patty.
Yeah. Patty Sue. You gotta say
Patty Sue.
Patty Sue.
Patty Sue cannot witness your signature. That
Right.
becomes null and void.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that you have to remember. In your excitement, you call Patty Sue and say, look, witness this will for me. But when your will is probated and she's a beneficiary, wait, this doesn't make sense.
Wow.
Something that's critical, and I want to say this.
Mm.
Person's been signed off as your witness.
Right?
You're not dying for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
How do we locate that person? Who was the signatory?
Do
Who
we
was your
need
signature?
to locate them?
Yeah, we do. Because they have to, they actually have to sign off on an attestation document, which goes in. I'm not going to go into all that.
Oh my
jargon.
gosh.
So we need to find those persons. So in your lists, your appendices, I hope that you have those numbers.
So as we said, you should update your will occasionally and make sure all these things are in order.
It's true.